Jake Paul has recently been disrespectfully calling out Conor McGregor for a boxing match.
Good morning, Conor McGregor. I know you're probably beating up old dudes in a bar right now, or maybe you're off because you're sick of your wife. I mean, she's a 4, Conor. You could do a lot better, but happy Monday.
He even attacked his friend and teammate Dylan Dennis with water balloons.
Fish right there. Dip.
Jake Paul recently revealed a DM he sent to Conor McGregor which he saw but didn't respond. He posted this on his Instagram stories. He sent a message to Conor McGregor saying, "Take the fight." Conor McGregor saw the message and didn't bother responding back. On the image it said that $50 million with proof of funds got you curious, huh? At the Notorious MMA? Mark Hunt recently lost to Paul Gallen in a boxing match via unanimous decision. Mark Hunt released a statement on his Instagram saying, "Congratulations to Paul Gallen, well deserved win. You have my respect. Part-time fighter beat my ass but I had so much fun tonight getting back into the ring." Ryan Bader stepped in on short notice to take on Anthony Rumble Johnson as Submission Underground. Ryan Bader posted this on his Instagram with the caption, "Let's go." Filled in on a couple of days notice to grapple Anthony Johnson as Submission Underground this Sunday. Let's have some fun, AJ. Anthony Johnson left a comment on the post saying, "Let's go, my man." Mike Perry recently said that if Jake Paul fights him, he'll have Darren Till in his corner. He posted this on his Twitter saying, "If Jake Paul would fight me, then I would let Darren Till in the corner."
Let me try to understand your logic here. So you're saying that you don't want me to fight Conor McGregor because he's one of the greatest fighters in the world and I'm just like a YouTuber or whatever. But then in a statement today you say, "Oh, I'm thinking about just having Amanda Nunes knock him out. But she's also one of the greatest." You seem to have this thing where you sort of hate on video gamers or YouTubers or influencers and us boxing and all this stuff. But then you spend half your time hanging out with the Nelk boys. And I know why. It's because they have hella influence over the male audience. And you know that's going to promote the UFC. And right now, baby, there is nobody in this world who's promoting the UFC as much as me. Tens of millions of views. #1 search result on Google when you type in Conor McGregor, when you type in UFC, when you type in Dana White. Okay, so you're not making sense here. I know the world doesn't really know this because the UFC is this, huge company, but we all know it's not doing that well. I mean, anyone who is involved with WME and all the public stocks and everything that went south there, we know the company's not doing well. And I'm the biggest money fight that you can do unless Khabib comes out of retirement. So if you want the UFC to make the most amount of money, then you better start to wake the up and realize that Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor is going to happen at some point. Man, the internet lets me down every day. Like, y'all are really stupid. Y'all are like, "Oh, he drove away. Like, why didn't he fight him?" First of all, it's called a drive-by for a reason. It's not called a drive-stay, you dumb. Second of all, why would I fight this guy for free in the middle of the street? We get paid millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to fight. Why would I fight him for free? Y'all stupid.
Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast gives his thoughts on Tony Ferguson's loss to Charles Oliveira.
I think and if you recall, we were saying he got beat by Justin Gaethje, he got beat by Charles Oliveira, and I just think the real story of what we're seeing here is the rapid decline of Tony Ferguson, because the human body, right, could only take so much. And Tony has been such a warrior for the UFC. I've got nothing bad to say about Tony Ferguson. And what I'm about to say, if I'm Tony, could be perceived as that way. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I have nothing but respect for Tony Ferguson. He is a true fighter. He's an absolute warrior. He's put on some sensational performances inside the octagon. But he's also taken a lot of damage. And often, because he's so tough, he's able to outlast his opponents. He takes this amount of damage and then he puts the hurt on them and he gets the win. And it's always in spectacular fashion. That's why he gets so many bonuses. But my point and my fear is that you can only take so much. And the human body has an expiry date. Okay, he's not getting flatlined. He's not getting knocked out. But he's taking a lot of damage. He's starting to slow down. He's not looking quite as snappy, not quite as explosive. And of course, he just lost 2 fights. Now, devil's advocate, devil's avocado. He lost to Justin Gaethje and he lost to Charles Oliveira. 2 guys that are top of the food chain. Oliveira doesn't get the recognition, sure he will now, but still 2 very, very good guys that are capable of beating almost anybody on the planet, apart from Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? So there's no shame. But as you said to your point before, Lewis, he didn't look the same. He didn't have any good moments. And I just feel because of the amount of damage over the years. Now we're starting to see a decline in what he can do in the octagon.
You know, thank you guys for still rocking with me, even though the bad news, it is what it is. But really, it ain't that bad news. It ain't that bad. I be getting offers left and right, and it's good. I'm good. I love you guys. I'm so grateful.
Also, how do you see a mother struggling with her daughter in a wheelchair, trying to get her up the stairs, and you get 2 days added to your quarantine for being close or making contact with them? That sounds like a punishment to me rather than a precaution to stop the COVID. Like, what's 2 days? Doesn't make sense.
Try not to get them for her because it messes up her snout hair.
Leave it. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Pappuccino.
Kenny Florian on the Anik Florian Podcast gives his thoughts on the majority draw between Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno.
Just ridiculous. Listen, I think that main event really had it all. Not only was it filled with drama and back and forth action, but I think it was technical. I think both those guys showed skills everywhere as well, which is also rare in a mixed martial arts fight. And I think both those guys are elite for a reason, and they proved it. And the fact that both of those guys really showed up to the best of their abilities. Obviously, Deiveson wasn't 100% with being in the hospital, but both of those guys truly showed up and put it all on the line, gave everything they had, and we had an absolute classic because of it. Is it one of the best flyweight fights, or is it the best flyweight fight of all time? Probably. I think both those guys showed skill everywhere, showed heart. They ate some insane shots. Both guys proved that they're extremely durable, and I was just thoroughly entertained. How is Deiveson Figueiredo 125 pounds? But it's like he looked like he was 145er out there. He looked huge. Moreno's chin is insane. I mean, I would say, and I don't think this is much of an exaggeration, I would say 85% of Deiveson's shots, and obviously this is a non-scientific statistic from old Kenflo, 85% of his shots are knockout shots. I mean, he's looking to take your head off with 85% of his strikes. It's insane. And many of those were landing on the chin of Brandon Moreno, and the dude was still standing. Not only was he still standing, he was countering right after that. He'd eat a shot, and kind of his head would flip back, and he'd automatically throw like 3 shots right back. Dude, what a fight. It was insane. Brandon Moreno is a stud.